नमस्कार। सायंकालीन सत्र में आपका स्वागत करते हैं। आज वसावास समाप्त हो रहा है, तो उसके उपलक्ष्य में हम अतिरिक्त प्रार्थनाएं और वंदना करेंगे। सायंकालीन वंदना, अर्पणा एवं प्रारंभिक वंदना। योऽसो भगवा अरहं सम्मा सम्बुद्धो स्वाक्षातो येन भगवता धम्मो सुपटिपन्नो यस्य भगवतो सावकसङ्घो तन्मयं भगवन्तं सधम्मं ससङ्गं इमेहि सकारे हि यथारहम् आरोपिते हि अभिपूजिताम साधुनो भन्ते भगवा शुचिर्परिनिभूतोऽपि पश्चिमाजनितानूतं प्रमानसा इमे सकारे दुःखसुखाकार पथितर्हातु अमहाकङ्गीभरताय सुखाय अरहं सम्मा सम्बुद्धो भगवा बुद्धं भगवन्तम् अभिवादे स्वाक्षातो भगवता धम्मो धम्मं नमस्सामि सुपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावकसङ्घो सङ्घं नमामि। खण्डमयं बुद्धस्य भगवतो उपभागनमकारं करोमस्ते नमो तस्य भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्य नमो तस्य भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्य नमो तस्य भगवतो अरहतो सम्मा सम्बुद्धस्य। बुद्ध धम्म संघ गुण। इतिपिसो भगवा अरहं सम्मा सम्बुद्धो विद्याचरणसम्पन्नो सुगतो लोकविदु अनुत्तरो पुरिसदम्मसारथि सत्था देवमनुष्यानं बुद्धो भगवाति। ऐसे हैं वे भगवान अरहंत सम्यक संबुद्ध प्रज्ञा और आचरण से संपन्न सुगत एवं लोक ज्ञाता मनुष्यों को संयमित करने वाले अनुपम सारथी देवों और मनुष्यों के शास्ता भगवान बुद्ध ने स्वाक्षातो भगवता धम्मो संदिग्धितो अकालिको एहिपस्सिको ओपनयिको पचितं वेदितव्यो वियूहीते। जो धम्म भगवान ने भली भांति समझाया, स्पष्ट दिखाई देने वाला, कालातीत, अन्वेषणा को प्रोत्साहित करने वाला, अंतर्मुखी करने वाला, प्रत्येक प्रज्ञावान को व्यक्तिगत रूप से अनुभव होने वाला है। सुपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावक संघो। उजुपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावक संघो। न्यायपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावक संघो। सामीचिपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावक संघो। यदिदं चत्वारि पुरुषयुगानि अष्टपुरुषपुद्गला एष भगवतो सावकसङ्घो। आहुनेयो बाहुनेयो दक्षिणेयो अञ्जलिकरणीयो अनुत्तरं पुण्यक्षेत्रं लोकस्याति। धम्म के मार्ग को अच्छी तरह प्रतिपादित करने वाले भगवान के श्रावक संघ। धम्म के मार्ग को सीधे प्रतिपादित करने वाले भगवान के श्रावक संघ। धम्म के मार्ग को ज्ञान पूर्वक प्रतिपादित करने वाले भगवान के श्रावक संघ। धम्म के मार्ग को निष्ठा पूर्वक प्रतिपादित करने वाले भगवान के श्रावक संघ। जो है चार युगल और 8 प्रकार के आर्य, ऐसे हैं भगवान के श्रावक संघ। वे हैं भेंट देने योग्य, आतिथ्य के योग्य, दक्षिणा देने के योग्य और नमस्कार के योग्य। वे हैं इस लोक में अतुलनीय पुण्य क्षेत्र। अब हम क्रमशः आटानाटिय परिक्रम, धम्म गौरव गाथा और जय परित्र का भी पाठ करेंगे। सर, थोड़ा आप मार्गदर्शन देंगे, आटानाटिय परित्र संक्षिप्त वाला करें या दीर्घ वाला करें?
जो संक्षिप्त है ना वो करेंगे, बिकॉज उसमें हम बेसिक आइडिया ये कि जो पिछले 7 बुद्ध हैं उनको वी पे आवर रिस्पेक्ट्स टू दिस द अर्लियर बुद्धा, दैट इज द होल आइडिया। ओके, उसमें उनकी चर्चा आती है ना, सबकी सभी पास्ट बुद्धों को नमन आता है उसमें।
जी सर। विपश्य नम अथु चक्षुमन्तस्य श्रीमतो। सिद्धिस्सपि
नाम
नम अथु सर्वभूतानुकम्पिनो।
कांपिनो
वेशभूष नम अथु नाथकस्य तपस्विनो। नम अथु ककुसन्धस्य मार्सेनपमद्दिनो। कोणागमनस्य नम अथु ब्राह्मणस्य वशीमतो। कश्यपस्य नम अथु विप्रमुक्तस्य सब्बधि। अङ्गीरसस्य नम अथु शक्तपुत्रस्य श्रीमतो। यो इमं धम्मं अदेशेषि सर्वदुःखापनूदनम्। ये चापि निभृता लोके यथा भूतं विपश्यितुं। ते जना अपि शृणामहन्ता वीतशारदं। हितं देवमनुष्यानं यं नमस्सन्ति गौतमं। विद्याचरणसम्पन्नं बुद्धं वन्दामि गौतमं हि। चक्षुधारी यशस्वी बुद्ध विपश्य को नमन। सारे प्राणियों पर अनुकंपा करने वाले बुद्ध सिखी को नमन। शुचिता की प्रतिमूर्ति तपस्वी बुद्ध वेशभू को नमन। मार सेना का संहार करने वाले बुद्ध ककुसंध को नमन। परिशुद्ध ब्राह्मण कोनागमन को नमन। संपूर्ण रूप से विमुक्त बुद्ध कश्यप को नमन। दीप्तिमान को नमन यशस्वी शाक्य पुत्र, जिन्होंने इस धर्म का उपदेश दिया जो सारे दुखों को दूर करता है। जो भी लोक में निर्वाण प्राप्त किए हुए हैं, जो स्थितियों को जैसी है वैसा ही देखते हैं। स्पष्टवाची महानुभाव, ज्ञान में परिपक्व, वे भी गौतम बुद्ध को नमन करते हैं। जो देवों और मनुष्यों के हित के लिए आए, विद्या और आचरण में संपन्न, उन गौतम बुद्ध की हम वंदना करते हैं। धम्म गौरव गाथा। हन्दमयं धम्म गारव आदि गाथा यो भड़ाम से। आए हम धम्म के गौरव की आदि गाथा का पाठ करें। ये च अतीता संबुद्धा, ये च बुद्धा अनागता, यो च एतरहि संबुद्धो बहुन्नं शोकनाशनो। जो भी अतीत में संबुद्ध हुए और जो भविष्य में होंगे, जो भी इस समय संबुद्ध हैं, सभी शोकनाशक हैं। सभ्ये सद्धम्म गरुणो विहरिंसु विहरन्ति च, अथोपि विहरिष्यन्ति एषा बुद्धान धम्मता। वे सभी सद्धर्म को गौरव देते हैं, जो भूतकाल में थे अथवा वर्तमान में हैं या भविष्य में होंगे। यह बुद्धों का स्वभाव है। तस्मा हि अत्र कामेन महत्तम अभिकंखता, सद्धम्मो घरूपातव्यो शरं बुद्धान शासनं। इसलिए अपनी कामनाओं, महान आकांक्षाओं की पूर्ति के लिए सद्धर्म का गौरव करना चाहिए। बुद्धों की शिक्षा को याद कर। न हि धम्मो अधम्मो च उभो संविपाकिनो, अधम्मो निर्यं नेति, धम्मो पापेति सुकृतिं। धर्म और अधर्म का एक जैसा फल नहीं होता। अधर्म निरय लोक की ओर ले जाता है, धर्म से प्राप्त होती सद्गति। धम्मो हवे रक्षति धम्मचारिं, धम्मो सुचिन्नो सुखं आवहाति। एषा निसंसो धम्मे सुचिन्ने, ना दुर्गतिं गच्छति धम्मचारी। धर्म धर्मचारियों की रक्षा करता है, धर्म का पालन सुख देता है। यह धर्म पालन का आशीर्वाद है। धर्मचारी की दुर्गति नहीं होती। जय परित्य का पाठ करेंगे। महाकारुणिको नाथो हिताय सब प्राणिनं, पूरयित्वा पारमी सब्बा पत्रो संबोधिं उत्तमं एतेन सच्चवज्जेन होतु ते जयमङ्गलम् जयन्तो बोधिया मूले सख्यानं नन्दिबड्डनो एवं त्वं विजयो होहि जयस्सु जयमङ्गले अपराजितपल्लङ्के शीर्षे पटविं पोखरे अभिषेके सब्बुद्धानम् अग्रपत्रोपमोदति सुनक्षतं सुमङ्गलं सुप्रभातं सुहिक्षितं सुखिनो सुमुहूर्तो च सुयिष्ठं ब्रह्मचारिषु पदक्षिणं कायकम्मं वाचाकम्मं पदक्षिणं पदक्षिणं मनोकम्मं प्रणिधिते पदक्षिणा पदिक्षिणानि कत्वान् लभन्त अर्थे पदक्षिणे महान कारुणिक भगवान बुद्ध ने सभी प्राणियों के हित के लिए सभी पारमिताएं पूरी कर संबोधि प्राप्त की। इस सत्य वचन के प्रभाव से आपकी जय हो, मंगल हो। बोधि वृक्ष के नीचे विजेता हुए शाक्यों की प्रसन्नता को बढ़ाने वाले तुम भी इसी प्रकार विजयी हो। आपकी जय हो, मंगल हो। अपराजित आसन में पृथ्वी रूपी कमल पत्र के शीर्ष पर बैठे सभी बुद्धों के द्वारा प्रतिष्ठित वे सबसे महान संबोधि प्राप्त कर क्रमुदित हुए। शुभ नक्षत्र है वे, शुभ मंगल, शुभ प्रभात, शुभ आहुति, शुभ क्षण, शुभ मुहूर्त, ब्रह्मचारियों को श्रेष्ठ दान जो है सम्यक काया कर्म, सम्यक वाचिक कर्म, सम्यक मनोकर्म, आपके सम्यक संकल्प ऐसे सम्यक कर्म करके आपको सम्यक लक्ष्य प्राप्त होते हैं। Now we will hand over the session to Sir.
We are today concluding our 3 months of intensive study and practice on five khandas. आज शरद पूर्णिमा के दिन traditionally the Vasa ends. So, of course, it is primarily for Bhikkhu Sangha, but we are also using this opportunity to practice more continuously. इसीलिए हमने प्रतिक्रिया व्यापन करने के लिए सभी बुद्धों को प्रणाम किया और because ultimately it is because of them that we have been able to do anything. So we'll use the remaining time as usual. अभी 15 मिनट 15-20 मिनट हम आनापान करके चित्त को समाहित करते हैं कृतज्ञता के भाव से कि भगवान ने ऐसी शिक्षा दी और हमारे को ऐसा अवसर मिला कि हम सब बैठ के मिलजुल के साधना कर पाए, डिस्कशंस कर पाए. So we'll meditate for some time, then we'll listen to a talk and then again meditate for some more time. I'll request Nikhil to play the video. अजान आनंद की एक टॉक आज हम सुनेंगे, ये सेंस ऑफ सेल्फ को कैसे देखा जा सकता है, कैसे उसको कम किया जा सकता है.
It's the 18th of October 2023. So the rains retreat, it's a 3-month period. It's gone by very, very quickly. And we're close now to the end of the rains. And so this time it passes really fast, but we should be using that time with our effort, putting forth our effort. This is what we call virya lampa. So the putting forth of effort. And it's really important to do that in a consistent way. So when we go on alms rounds and then we eat, we have our efforts, and then we make a determination as well that when we finish eating, that we'll go and do walking meditation, sitting meditation, to always have that as sort of a mood in our minds. Or for lay people, they go off to work, and then they think, when I finish work, I'll go home, and then I'll do the evening chanting. I'll listen to Dhamma, I'll sit in meditation. So we just carry on training ourselves like this, putting our effort in a consistent way until it connects up. And we have mindfulness there as well, and have a lot of that, and try to grow in mindfulness, try to make our samadhi even more firm. In the beginning, this is something that can be a bit difficult to do. And it can be hard because throughout the day we can send our minds out so much, and all the things that they go out are all issues of self. It's all about me, it's all about them, it's all about a being, an individual self, me or you. And that's all it's about. And so there's this delusion that's there, that's deluded in terms of self. So when a mood comes up, sometimes we're able to let go of that, but at other times we can't put that down. That's something that we still cling to. And that's because our wisdom is not yet enough, and our samadhi is not yet firm. But if we're close to wise people, this can help us a lot. They can teach us and give us methods. So it's like one time that Ajahn Chah, he was receiving a lay guest, and this person was sad that they had been separated from something that they loved. But as he was teaching that person, then someone else came along, and this other person had much more suffering than what they did. And so the first person, they felt like the suffering that they had just disappeared. That they were suffering over selling things and not having much money. But someone else came with much more suffering from being separated from those that they loved. And so through this comparison, then the person with less suffering was able to let go. Or like another time that someone came, and they came with great heaviness in their heart, and these issues that were there, that they were holding on to, feeling very weighed down by them. And there was a bucket of water. And so Ajahn Chah asked this person to lift up this bucket of water. And they were standing there lifting that, and then Ajahn Chah just started talking about this and that. And he didn't tell the person to put the bucket down, so they didn't put it down, they just carried on holding it. So Ajahn Chah, he talked about this thing and that thing until this person felt a bit more at ease. And then he asked this layman, well, is that heavy? And he felt it like it was heavy, both the bucket that he was holding that was heavy and his heart was heavy as well. And so he said, yes, it is heavy. And then Ajahn Chah asked, well, if it's heavy, then why don't you put it down? And he was able to put that down. And both this physical feeling and also these emotions, these heavy feelings in his heart. And so he was very intelligent in the way that he taught, and was able to teach in a way that allowed people's suffering to disappear. So now we may not have the opportunity to be close to someone wise like that. So therefore we need to train ourselves. We need to teach ourselves a lot. And we need to find the wise being within our own heart. We need to seek out the wisdom in ourselves. So we need to put an effort for ourselves and try to train in mindfulness and samadhi a lot. Initially, everything is just a matter of self. Everything we look at is self. It's all me, mine. The hair of the head, hair of the body, nails, teeth and skin, all of this is me, belonging to me. And the heart clings to all of it as being me, belonging to me. So we can try touching bones on our hands. So with our left hand we can touch the bones on the right hand and touch the various fingers. So there's the thumb and the index finger, the middle finger, the ring finger, the little finger. So touching all those fingers, and underneath there's just bones that are there. And then there are the other various bones of the body, the skull and the collarbones, the various bones in the arms, and the legs and the feet, the hands, the ribs. Many, many different bones in this body. And we take all of them as being me. But which one is me? Which of these bones is me? And if we don't have wisdom, we take all of them to be me, belonging to me. That this body is all me and mine. Every single part of it is mine. And even the food that we eat in order to nourish this body so it can survive, when we take that food in, we say that food is now me. And so we attach to even that. But if we have wisdom, then we look at that and we see how it's not me, it doesn't belong to me. If we have wisdom, then it's easy to see it in that way, very clearly. So we all want to see that. We listen to Dhamma and we want to gain that kind of understanding so that the heart becomes uplifted and joyful. We want to really see how these things aren't me, not belonging to me. And so that when we sit, the heart's very light, the body can feel very light, and we can contemplate and see all of these things very clearly. But sometimes we do that, and then we come out of samadhi, or the samadhi reduces, and then self immediately appears. The self comes up once more. Things belonging to me comes up once more. But whatever the case, we should be cautious and maintain our mindfulness. Even though there may just all be issues of self, we may be taking everything personally, we try to have mindfulness there. Even though this anger may come up again, and so it's normal for the mind. It's like this to be angry sometimes. Or maybe it gets greedy, or maybe there's aversion that comes up. But throughout this we try to maintain our effort, try to maintain our sincerity. So now it's close to the end of the rains retreat, this Vasa period, but we should set our hearts on continuing our practice through to the end of this rains, and then outside of the rains we carry on practicing as well. Because really there is no rains retreat, there is no outside of the rains retreat. And why is that? Well, it's because the defilements arise all the time, both within the rains and outside of the rains. And this is true as well for Marga, the path, and seeing the Dhamma. This can arise at all times. It's not something that's constricted by time. So it's akaliko, it's timeless, it's not constrained by time. Ehipasiko, something which is inviting us to see it, and something that we should take within ourselves and see within ourselves. So in this way we should put in our efforts, having sila, virtue, as our foundation, having a lot of mindfulness. And so may you be firm in your efforts, training your mind. And why? Well, it's because this body is of the nature to deteriorate. And so it's just constantly going in that direction. But now we can walk, now we can sit. So we should use this opportunity to meditate, to be training our minds. And then as we do that, then we'll experience some peace. And then meditation practice becomes enjoyable, becomes fun. And that the body and the mind feel very light. And then we feel like, oh, this is much easier than it was before. We can see that this is the way that will take us to seeing the Dhamma, attaining to the Dhamma. But before we get to that point, that all the things we do is trying to find methods that will bring our minds to calm and peace. But sometimes we know what this path is, and we have experienced some of that and it becomes easier, but even then we can become confused as to what to do next. But we should just have a lot of mindfulness. If the mind is thinking about many different things, we can try bringing up a mantra or meditation word and reciting that a lot, or contemplating a lot, in order to settle the mind down. So this opportunity that we have, it's a very good one, that our external environment is peaceful. We're not in a country where there's war, or there's great chaos or disturbance that's going on. That where we are, that practitioners are able to practice, it's conducive for that. If we're in a place where there was lots of agitation, chaos, then it's very difficult to practice. So this is a good opportunity that we have, this external peace that we have, and we use that opportunity to find internal peace as well. So if outside is all chaotic, then it's hard to find this internal peace. So we should be collected, we should be cautious, having our virtue with us, and then just carrying on with this practice. And if we do that, then it won't take a long time for us to understand the Dhamma, to see the Dhamma, to see the nature of things being just the way they are. So looking at this body, for instance, so if the mind doesn't order the body to do something, then it doesn't move. that the brain is there and it's functioning, but there aren't these thoughts. And so then the body just remains still. But if the mind gives an order to speak, then the brain receives that order, it sends it to the nervous system, and then the various parts of the body to do with speech, they start working and moving. But if those parts aren't functioning, then even though the mind can give the order, the body doesn't follow that. And so it's the same with walking, with moving around, various things that we can do with the body. That if those parts aren't working, then we can't do those activities anymore. And so the body, it's really not something that we're able to just control, able to give, to order about. And sometimes someone is allergic to medicine, and this gives them this great dizziness. But who is it that feels dizzy? It's just the body, and that's it. It's the body that's out of balance. There's an allergic reaction that's going on. But none of that is self. If there's delusion there, though, then we attach to that and we take it to be me, take it to be self. So we should contemplate this and ask ourselves, well, where is that self within that process? There's just this feeling that has come up, but in the past that feeling wasn't there. It's something that's just come up now, and in no long time it will fade, it will disappear. But if we're lacking in wisdom, then we say that it's my feeling that's come up. But really it's just a part of nature. And if we have wisdom, then we'll see that it's just a body. It's merely feelings, merely the mind, merely Dhamma. So may you put in your efforts and persist in training in this way, and have wisdom like this. And may you set your hearts on this.
Let us now meditate till 8:15 for next 20 minutes. You can meditate. नहीं कमेंट और कुछ शेयर करना चाहे कोई तो spend few minutes. Let us do sharing of merits.
Very inspiring picture of this.
हाँ कहिए कामले जी.
It was a very insight, meaningful and inspiring part of our this. Here, sir, two three aspects that I wanted to have a detailed. One is as long as one is not getting the awakening or this wisdom, in that let go is a little difficult path from that. So one is wisdom, let go of that.
I'm not able to understand क्या कह रहे हैं. आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही साफ मुझे. थोड़ा सा माइक से थोड़ा सा पीछे होके बोलेंगे.
This wisdom is the important part of this process. What is unless the wisdom is not arising, so till that that suffering happens. My question is how to make the wisdoms stronger and stronger.
Yeah, that's what we have been doing. Understanding the interactions of the five khandhas, understanding that they are impermanent, they are not satisfactory, attachment to them is a cause of suffering, and that they're not me or mine. So that's the way we develop Panya. The understanding how suffering arises, how suffering can cease. So ये सब चीजें यहाँ पर Panya, this is what all contains. So by practice, it is not just intellectually understanding, but actually putting it into practice, putting the teachings into practice, checking out whether the five khandhas are really impermanent or not, whether they really belong to me, do I have any control on them, and do they remain always like what they are, does the pleasant feeling remain pleasant all the time. So all these experiences, when we investigate and look into their true nature, that's how we develop panya, wisdom, and therefore then the experiences do not trouble us. Whatever be the nature of experience, it no longer creates suffering. That's what has been the whole practice.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Over to you, Nikhil.
Yes. स्थान की गाथाएं. हंदमयं सब पतिदान गाथायो भणाम से. आए हम सब प्रतिदान गाथाओं का पाठ करें. पुण्यस्य इदानी ततस्य ज्ञान अज्ञानी कथानि मे. तेषां च भागिनो होन्तु सत्ता अनंता पमाणिका. जो भी पुण्य मैंने आज किए हैं या जो भी अन्य पुण्य किए हैं, उन सब के भागीदार अनंत असीम प्राणी हो. ये पिया गुणवंता चा मह्यं माता पिता दयो. दिट्ठा मे चाप्य अदिट्ठा वा अन्ये मज्जत्वेरिनो. वे मेरे गुणवान प्रियजन, मेरे दयालु माता पिता, अन्य तटस्थ अथवा वैरी मैंने देखे हो या नहीं देखे हो. सत्ता तिष्ठन्ति लोकस्मिन् ते भूम्मा चतुर्योनिता पंच एक चतुर्भोकारा संसरन्ता भवा भवे। वे प्राणी जो इस लोक में हो, तीन लोकों की चार योनियों में हो, पांच एक अथवा चार स्कंद वाले भव संसरण करने वाले हों। ज्ञातं ये पतिदानं मे अनुमोदन्तु ते स्वयं। ये चा इमं न प्रजानन्ति देवा तेषां निवेदयुम्। जो मेरे इस प्रतिदान को जानते हैं वे इसका अनुमोदन करें, और जो इसके बारे में अनभिज्ञ हैं देवता उन्हें इसकी जानकारी दें। मया दीन्नान् पुण्यान् अनुमोदन हेतुना सभ्ये सत्ता सदा होन्तु अवेरा सुखजीविनो क्षेमप्रदय चापपोन्तु ते सा शिक्षतं शुभा। मेरे इस पुण्य दान के अनुमोदन से सभी प्राणी सदा निर्वैर हों, सुखी हों, शांति का पद प्राप्त करें, उनकी सभी शुभेच्छा पूर्ण हो। पुण्य समर्पण एवं शुभ संकल्प की गाथाएं। हन्दमय्यं उदिस्नादिष्ठानिगाथायो बड़ामुसे। आए हम पुण्य समर्पण एवं शुभ संकल्प की गाथाओं का पाठ करें। इमिना पुण्यकम्मेन उपज्छाया गुरुत्तरा आचार्य उपकारा च माता पिता च यातिका। मेरे इन पुण्यों से मेरे गुणवान उपाध्याय, मेरे उपकारी आचार्य, माता पिता एवं संबंधी, श्रियो चंद्रमा राजा गुणवंता नरापि च, ब्रह्ममारा च इंद्रा च लोकपाला च देवता, यमो मित्ता मनुष्या च मच्छत्ता वेदितापि च, सभ्ये सत्ता सुखी होन्तु पुण्यानि पतितानि मे। सूर्य चंद्रमा राजा तथा गुणवान नर, ब्रह्मा मार इंद्र तथा लोकपाल देवता, यम सभी मनुष्य चाहे मित्र हों तटस्थ अथवा वैरी हों, मेरे किए गए पुण्यों से सभी प्राणी सुखी हों। सुखं चतिविधं देन्तु क्षिप्रं पापेतगोमृतं। इमिना पुण्यकम्मेन इमिना उद्भिश्रेण च क्षिप् आहं सुलभे चैव तन् उपादानच्छेदनं। ये सन्ताने हीना धम्मा यावनिर्वाणतो मम न सन्तु सर्वदा एव यत्र जातो भवे भवे। वे इन्हें त्रिविध सुख दें और वे शीघ्र अमृत पद को प्राप्त करें। इन पुण्य कर्मों से एवं इस समर्पण से तृष्णा एवं आसक्ति का शीघ्र भेदन सुलभ हो। जब तक मुझे निर्वाण का साक्षात्कार हो, जहाँ कहीं भी जन्म हो, मन की अहितकर वृत्तियों का सर्वदा नाश हो। उजुचितं सतीपैया सल्लेखो वीर्यं विना मारालभन्तु लोकासं गातुं च वीर्येषु मे। मेरा सीधा चित्त सती प्रज्ञा तप एवं पुरुषार्थ से युक्त हो। मार को मेरा पुरुषार्थ कमजोर करने का कोई अवसर ना मिले। बुद्धाधिपवरो नाथो धम्मो नाथो वर उत्तमो नाथो पच्छेकबुद्धो च संघो नाथोत्तरो ममम्। तेष उत्तमानुभावेन मार ओकासं लभन्तु माम्। बुद्ध मेरे उत्तम नाथ हैं, धम्म मेरा श्रेष्ठ उत्तम नाथ है, प्रत्येक बुद्ध मेरे नाथ है, तथा संघ मेरा श्रेष्ठ नाथ है। इन सब के उत्तम प्रभाव से मार्ग की शक्तियों को कोई अवसर ना मिले। सार्वभौमिक कल्याण साधुवचन। हंदमयं नेतापर्णं करोमसे, आए हम मैत्री भावना को सभी ओर व्याप्त करें। अहं सुखितो होमि, निर्दुःखो होमि, अवेरो होमि, अव्यापज्यो होमि, अनीघो होमि, सुखी अत्तानं परिहरामि। मैं सुखी हूँ, दुख से मुक्त हूँ, वैर से मुक्त हूँ, द्वेष से मुक्त हूँ, चिंता से मुक्त हूँ। मैं सुखपूर्वक अपना संरक्षण कर सकूं। सभ्ये सत्ता सुखिता होन्तु, सभ्ये सत्ता अवेरा होन्तु, सभ्ये सत्ता अव्यापच्छा होन्तु, सभ्ये सत्ता अनीघा होन्तु, सभ्ये सत्ता सुखी अत्तानं परिहरन्तु। सभी प्राणी सुखी हों, सभी प्राणी वैर से मुक्त हों, सभी प्राणी द्वेष से मुक्त हों, सभी प्राणी चिंता से मुक्त हों, सभी प्राणी सुखपूर्वक अपना संरक्षण कर सके। सभ्ये सत्ता सभ्य दुःखापमुच्यन्ते, सभ्ये सत्ता लब्ध संपत्तितो मा विगच्छन्ते। सभी प्राणी सभी दुखों से मुक्त हो, सभी प्राणियों की संपत्ति उनसे दूर ना हो। सभ्ये सत्ता कम्मस्य का कम्मुदायादा, कम योनि कम बंधु कम पटी शरणा, यं कम्मं करिष्यन्ति कल्याणं वा पापकं वा तस्य दायादा भविष्यन्ति। सभी प्राणी अपने कर्मों के स्वामी हैं, कर्म ही उनकी विरासत है, कर्म ही उनकी योनि है, कर्म ही उनका बंधु है, कर्म ही उनकी शरण है। जैसे भी कर्म करेंगे कुशल अथवा अकुशल, वही उनकी विरासत बनेंगे। भवतु शब्दमङ्गलं रक्षन्तु शब्ददेवता शब्दबुद्धानुभावेन सदा सोऽत्रि भवन्तु ते भवतु शब्दमङ्गलं रक्षन्तु शब्ददेवता शब्दधम्मानुभावेन सदा सोऽत्रि भवन्तु ते भवतु शब्दमङ्गलं रक्षन्तु शब्ददेवता शब्दसङ्घानुभावेन सदा सोऽत्रि भवन्तु ते अरहं सम्मा सम्बुद्धो भगवान् बुद्धं भगवन्तम् अभिवादेमि स्वाक्षातो भगवता धम्मो धम्मं नमस्सामि सुपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावकसङ्घो सङ्घं नमामि Thank you, sir, for your
Thank you
continuous
very much.
guidance.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Wish you all the best. Namaskar.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank
It's been a
you.